I'm a dummy. Sorry. I was waiting till the last minute to do it, then the last minute passed and I didn't do it.
I'm seeing you turning the knobs. I hear you. But then for some reason, after knowing, there we go. For some reason, after knowing that's what you were doing, I still waited for like 4 seconds before I spoke. All right, let me send out the Discord notifications.
All right. I got my volume here.
And the YouTube post is done, so we should be good. All right. Hello, Doc.
Turn it up. Hello.
So,
all right.
I do have a pre-show topic for you, as I usually do.
Okay.
This one's kind of crazy to me, but it's very rarely do we get a post on RPG Horror Stories from somebody that is not the person that was playing the game.
Okay.
Right? They weren't a player. They weren't the DM. They weren't the GM. In this one, lady has moved in with her fiance. They're supposed to get married in like 4 or 5 months. Playing D&D at their place. She's just trying to stay out of the way, right?
Okay.
Middle of the game, they have a BYOB situation. Everybody brings their own drinks.
Yeah. What's up, Remus?
Hey, Remus. Middle of the game, guy gets up from the table, goes into the kitchen where she's at, trying to stay out of the way.
Yeah.
So they can enjoy their game because she doesn't know anything about it, but she also doesn't really want to get involved.
Okay.
He comes into their kitchen, pulls some vodka out of their cabinets, and starts pouring him a glass. She's like, hey, we made a rule. Don't do that.
Yeah.
He says a bunch of very rude things, goes back to the table. She's like, okay, let it slide, whatever. They've been drinking. It'll be okay. Fiance's having fun. He comes back again and tries it again.
Yeah.
And when she's like, look, no, you can't do that, he calls her a B word.
Yeah.
And she tells him he needs to leave the house. Fiance has her back. Guy leaves the house.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that guy was the DM.
Ah.
So now the game has stopped.
Yeah.
And so her question is, what is the appropriate response in this situation if I don't want to ruin the game?
Well, there is.
There's not one.
No, not unless, he needs to come back and profusely apologize.
Right.
And, if somebody's providing drinks for the table or snacks or whatever, it needs to be somebody besides her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah. If, or hey, somebody else gets to turn a DM.
Yep. Hey, the rest of the party still wants to have fun. Well, let's run a one shot or something.
Yeah.
Also, chat sat there and rolled that whole time, and it's working now. And I don't know how to feel about that. I'm glad it is, but
yeah, I don't know what it's doing.
But specifically, she was looking to see if other DMs could give her advice on, like, as somebody that doesn't play.
Yeah.
On, hey, what are some options for the table when something like that happens? Because she's not planning on letting this guy back in their house.
Right.
And none of them know how to DM. And so at that point, look, if everybody else still wants to play, my philosophy is if nobody's comfortable with DMing a one shot or something, play a board game.
Yeah.
At
or
that
learn
point,
to DM.
Right. At that point, everybody should probably just go home anyway, because clearly
right.
The evening's been soured,
Yeah, so DM claims right of first night.
Yeah, right.
Cool.
But yeah, it's not that hard to DM, really. It sounds like it's really hard.
Yeah, it's stuff you got to keep up with, and you want to make sure that the story's good and everybody's involved. But
I don't think I'm good at it, but I've done it.
Yeah,
and everybody had a good time.
Right.
Yeah, buy one of the box sets for next time, for sure. The starter kit or the essential set are great for that. And that works for Pathfinder as well. The starter kit for Pathfinder gives you character sheets. You got all the stuff you need there.
I should be able to make a character by now.
Right, if you've been playing. But Also, if you're that DM, yeah, just don't be a jerk at somebody else's house. Like,
yeah. This, well, I can argue a small point. This should have been taken care of in session 0.
yep, sure should have it every time, right?
But the point should have been taken care of that first time.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, when he was told, hey, you're not allowed to do this.
Yeah.
Should have been no problem. At that point, go back to the table. Don't worry about it. But it almost feels like he thought because he was the DM, he could do whatever he wanted. No matter whose house he was in.
Yeah. You want a guy like that to be your boss.
Right.
Yeah, no. They especially on that little second interaction there, that's the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Well, and it's one thing if, like, hey, I've invited you to my house. I'm going to offer you something. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to start helping yourself, depending on the person, some people just let that go.
Well, some people might have that relationship with.
Right.
You know, some people that might not be a thing, but usually there have been, you know, allowances and communication beforehand about that. So,
yeah. With those people, normally they've eaten your food beforehand.
Right. He just sounds like a petty ass.
Yeah. So I know oftentimes we cover like, hey, specific rules interactions or metagaming or power gaming, but I did want to cover because we don't normally cover the actual like drama that can happen at the table.
Yeah.
In that situation, kick the guy out. Somebody else DM. It's as simple as that, you know?
Yeah.
But
yeah. That's weight. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, like when we do it, you know, everybody brings chips.
Mm-hmm.
You know, snack on, they get handed around.
We try to out-chip each other.
Yeah. So, you know, bags get handed around. There's always something to snack on. It's just weird.
I lost the out-chipping, and I think you did too, immediately when one guy ordered chips from Japan.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, look, we've lost.
Yeah.
I'm still going to buy weird chips I see, but I think we've lost.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like a guy's a jerk.
So, all right. I guess it's time to get started then. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Full Spectrum TTRPG podcast. My name is Trey.
I'm Rungren.
We got some stuff to talk about tonight. No news. I don't have any news for you tonight.
Loser.
There hasn't been anything new announced, really, other than just the stuff we already know. I could bring you another Kickstarter. Hello, Faith. But that's not really going to do much good, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's all just, look, I'm not trying to be down here, but we announced the one that was Ghibli-like, and right after that one started getting movement and traction, that's the word, 3 more came out from other people. I was like, all right, that's the new thing for a little while, is people going to be making Ghibli-style packs of monsters and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go for it. The more of those that are around, the better, but we're not going to talk about them every week, because clearly that's going to keep happening.
Yes.
But with that in mind, tonight we're talking Filipino mythology.
Yes. And just like some of the other places that we have visited and try to get some eye every week, do it.
I'll do this for you, Dark. If you will send me one that you find interesting, I'll talk about it next week.
No, don't set
Just
her
one.
that challenge. I find this interesting. Well, I can't.
No
really,
hentai.
I can't really talk about that one. No, that's cool. Yeah. So anyway, the looking into this, there is quite a lot as when we've covered some of the other.
Deal.
You've asked for it.
Deal.
But much like when we did with the Inuit, or when we're looking at Kenya, North American tribes, or the Australia.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of variation through the different peoples through an area.
Mm-hmm.
The Philippines is no different, because not only do you have different tribes of people living across the islands through that, you also have a lot of other influence that came in the 3rd and 4th century. You kind of got you have Hindu ideas and stuff being brought to the region, and understood in different ways. A lot of the one you look at Hindu, Muslim, Shinto, Buddhist, Christian traditions have all showed up in the Philippines over time. Not only that, you have different outside cultures kind of invading in the Philippines.
Okay.
So a lot of it gets compiled. I
Yeah.
guess you can kind of say. So I'm going to go through a lot of these. A lot of the ones I'm sticking to are from the Tagalog people. That's definitely not the only mythology in the Philippines.
So as always, we're taking just a brief dip.
Oh yeah. It would be hours and hours. It'd be a full course. I mean, any one of these mythologies, narrowing it down as much as we can is like, okay, we're just doing, I don't know, Cherokee.
Yeah.
Or just doing this certain, this area of the world. That's a whole course.
Hey, we're just glad that you got some rest.
Right. If we were still going at 1:30, we've got something going on. I don't know.
That's right.
Let's do that. So a lot of these, like I said, we've gone through. Most of it will be Tagalog. I will mention some from the other tribes and peoples of the area.
Yeah.
As well.
Oh, and to pull the veil back a little bit, not much, but just a little bit. You don't normally give me any advance warning of what we're looking at.
Yeah.
Every week, I like going into it blind as much as possible, right? But you showed me the list of all the different tribes.
Yeah, there's a lot. There is a lot.
I'm glad you focused on just one.
Yeah. Like I said, there's going to be stuff from other ones, stuff I found cool, but things you'll find through the Philippines. Mythology, some creatures and beasts from mythology and things like that. They got a lot of cool stuff. Like I said, even if you pick one and stick just to it.
Right.
Across the Philippines, you've got a cool, there's a northern part or in the southern part where the Tagalog are.
Yeah.
You got little changes in them, but it is like most other mythologies. It is world building.
Yeah.
Don't want that.
Nice. Nice. Congratulations, my friend.
Yeah. Toothache was one of the main reasons people were not getting killed by the enemy in Vietnam.
Oh yeah,
Not getting killed by the Vietcong, but were taking matters into their own hands.
Also, go ahead.
Well, there was nothing out there for toothache, and it was driving them nuts.
Also, just to mention, if you are somebody that, like we were talking about in the pre-show, suddenly has to DM and you need ideas, you can take any of these mythology episodes and just run them straight.
Yeah, pick names, beings out of them.
Yeah, tooth pain hurts.
Yeah, that is number 3 on my list. Worst pains ever.
It's the worst one I've ever had. Was when they removed this one.
Yeah.
But the pain meds wore off partway through.
That'll do it. Tooth pain is 3rd. Yeah. Yeah, there's a type of pleurisy that works up in my shoulder. And then I haven't in a long time. I used to get these headaches, like on the top of my head, that would just leave me curled up on the floor worthless.
Yeah.
On that.
I'm glad you haven't had them in a long time.
Yeah, no, it hadn't happened in a long time. No. And I don't know that if it could do anything much, worse than any of those. I've been constipated and I haven't been impacted ever, okay?
Right.
This is the way it is.
That sounds like a different thing than what it is, but I know what you mean.
Yes, well, it's okay. It's okay. We'll move on. Okay, I'm gonna start with the Tagalog, but like I said, I've got a few others from around.
Chad, I'm getting ready to put these in the chat for you.
But the first one I'm talking about from Tagalog is Bathala, Bathala, and this is the creator god, supreme god.
Why did you not send?
This is Zeus and Dai. This is the main god, and he does use lightning, but He's considered the creator of the universe, all living things. He's also associated with the sky. And he's like I said, he is Zeus, Odin. He is the king god.
Okay.
You know, over that. Now, his wife is named...
Great art, by the way.
Yeah. Some good stuff. I ran across it.
Dude, looks really cool.
Quite a few. Not quite. Not quite. It's a little bit... while he holds the same position, he's not as creepy as Zeus. And gets along with his wife a lot better than Odin.
That's good.
All right. So, Aman Sanaya, his wife, she is a goddess of the sea. She's responsible for if you catch a bunch of fish and catch a bunch of fish, that's because she lets you.
Oh, that's good.
You know, that's who. And if you go into this and start looking, she's actually in quite a lot of myths as either somebody for the your hero archetype to come across, or she has some hand in a lot of the stories and myths. In Tagalog, the Mayari is the goddess of the moon.
Okay.
And her brother is Opalaki, and he is the god of the sun.
Great art. I agree.
Yes, yeah. There's some great art
over
some of these.
You know how much I love my sun gods.
Right. Well, this is the sun god and the moon god. They had a stick and they had a fight, like a sparring thing.
Yeah.
And the moon goddess, Mayari, she's always depicted as a beautiful woman with one eye.
Okay.
And she lost that eye in a stick fight. Her brother accidentally caught her in the eye with the bamboo they were fighting with.
Oof.
Yeah, in some pictures you're going to see her eyes kind of shown as the phase of the moon.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, very cool personification of the moon and the look and the idea behind it, right?
There are other mythologies that have won me over. They have one thing that's super cool, and I'm like, yeah, they're so much higher on my list now because of that.
Yeah.
This is the strongest start, I think, of just
the Filipino, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, her hair is the night sky.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Tala is the morning star and the evening star.
Okay.
So the dog star, right? And is often associated with the planet Venus, much like, we've got that for Venus.
Yeah.
She's considered the goddess of morning and evening, and she's also the guardian of the morning sun.
Okay.
So as Palaki is becoming up the morning sun, the god of the sun, she's a guardian of that. Make sure it happens.
Very cool.
All right.
Yeah, I saw that in a couple of those. The X-shaped scar. Where was it?
Kind of hot. Yeah. A lot of these show just beautiful women for some of the goddesses. Mm-hmm. Really cool pictures, really cool artwork.
Also, just throwing it out here, there's a couple of Apalaki that have him with a huge sickle.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool because it kind of looks like Ra's head.
Fair enough.
Don't know where that comes from, but I like the idea that he just...
Now there's Suko, as I'm getting a little bit off, but Dian Masalanta.
Okay.
Dian Masalanta. She is the goddess of love, conception, childbirth, invoked by pregnant women for the safe delivery. And she's also she's associated with agriculture and fertility.
Makes sense.
So, the rebirth goddess.
Yeah.
See that quite a bit.
That's cool.
Lakandula it's not Tagalog, but it's still Filipino. It's from Visayan mythology. Lakandula is a god of war and peace. And, much like you call on him before a battle.
Yeah.
That's who you pray to for going to war.
Of course.
Than that.
My phone corrected that to Lagan because of Gurren Lagann, and that's my fault.
But also the idea of like sure, I approve. But also like the idea of like diplomacy.
Okay.
Of like the the leaders, the generals coming together to discuss surrender, a truce of some kind.
Yeah.
Going through that. That's also where this guy would be invoked.
Okay.
Not just the violence of the battle, but also and seeking peace.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did it really? Ooh. I'll wait to download that till later, but I'm gonna pull it up so I don't forget.
Okay. All right. Lakapati is a very interesting goddess. Well, I can't really call it god or goddess. Also Visian. It's a fertility deity, and is always depicted as a hermaphrodite.
Okay.
Yes. She has both parts, and are usually is either depicted with both parts, or they don't show that, some kind of aspect of woman or female and male.
Okay.
An aspect of it, but is always spoken of, and they always pointed out that they have both parts.
Right.
And for some reason, it's agriculture, fertility lands again, just a different area, not the.
Okay.
Not that. Another one found. This one's in Bicolano mythology.
Okay.
Another area of the Philippines, and Magwayan, and she is a goddess of the underworld and the afterlife.
It really does, Dark. I agree.
It does make, yeah. And she's also would be like the ferryman for that. She's one that takes, leads you to the land of the dead.
I got you.
Right?
She's got some really sick art.
Yeah.
Both like monster form and human form style.
Yeah, this is, to me, because we talk about like Tolkien ripped off a bunch of mythologies to make his own mythology. And
yeah.
We go through this, and Neil Gaiman's a Sandman. His personification of death kind of lines up in my mind with this one.
Yeah.
A little bit. A beautiful woman. Now, her in the Sandman, it's a beautiful woman. She's there when you die. She takes you to where you're supposed to go.
Right.
But you also get a conversation from her right at birth. There's some stuff that's kind of close with them.
Yeah. Kind of, Dark. Yeah. Kind of your Selkie like monster form.
Yeah. Where was that? Magwayan. Bulan and Visian mythology is the moon god.
Okay.
And the Bulan in Visian, unlike the Tagalog, in this, the moon is a male god, is associated with beauty, but the male beauty.
Okay.
Right. And is very, this is very masculine.
Right.
This what, through that.
Also, how dare my phone try to autocorrect that to Balin?
Once again, your fault.
I know. Eugene Knockout!
That's Bulan. Mankukulan.
Okay.
Now, these are not a gods, but these are your shamans, your sorcerers, your witches in Filipino folklore.
Yeah.
They curse, they heal. I'm so close to being tired. They curse, they heal, using rituals, spells, things like this. This is your magic user, right?
Yeah.
I had to bring up a shapeshifter.
Well, Dark, that's because that's what he mentioned. It's two different versions of the story.
Yeah.
For those two.
Yeah. So it wasn't so clear about that. It's just, there are a lot of it. When you go to the indigenous tribes, there's a few different across the Philippines. There's different guys. Most of these I'm taking from Tagalog and trying to bring it up when it's from something else. And some of it's like the same stories, different names. Some are kind of like, yeah, the names are kind of close, but the stories are a little bit different.
Yeah.
Now, this is the one everybody should know.
Okay.
The Aswang.
Yeah.
Or not everybody should know, but I feel like the people who watch it, this is one they're going to know, right? The Aswang, shape-shifting vampire, ghoul-like creature, said to be able to transform into various forms. It consumes flesh and blood, particularly likes unborn children or people who just died.
Yep.
Right?
We talked about these when we talked about the Shadowfell in D&D when we were still covering the D&D books.
Ah, okay. Nice. Yeah. A lot of people know that for this one and that one. That's why I put these two together, because of the Mananangal is kind of like the Aswang, but it's a female one that can actually detach her top part to go flying, and she drinks the blood of sleeping pregnant women and eats the fetus. Not something you want hanging around, but if you see it flying, you only see the torso.
Yeah.
Right? And there's pictures of it with guts hanging out the bottom and things like that. Rather strange.
Yeah, they show up a lot.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the name of the anime. There was an anime where one of these was friends with a Dulan because they both could separate parts of their body.
Okay. Common ground.
But I don't remember for sure which one.
Excuse me. Now the Capri.
Tongue on the belly button to feed on the baby. Yep. Good call out. I wish you hadn't reminded me of it, but good call out.
Yeah.
70s.
Yes. Yeah. That was good, gory, bloody, B-rated horrors. The Capri. I kind of like this one.
Did you say DiCapri from Street Fighter?
No. Capri. Kapra. Giant tree dwelling creature. Yeah. Often described as hairy, dark-skinned, and cigar smoking.
Okay, yeah, why not?
Right? It's known to play tricks on people and cause disorientation and fear.
Okay.
Like, I don't know, there's something about like gangster leprechaun about this thing.
Yeah.
But it's a giant. Yes.
Okay. I like it.
This next one is another one that I think you may have heard of.
Okay.
Maybe not with his name, but maybe the description will be it. Because this is the Tikbalang.
That name sounds familiar.
Okay, it's a tall, horse-headed humanoid, a humanoid creature with backward-facing feet. We've had some backward-facing feet before.
Yeah.
It's known for leading travelers astray in forests and mountains. You can confuse it or distract it by turning your clothes inside out and wearing them that way.
I know this one, but not for the reason that Dark is thinking of, though that is
a good one.
That is the name of one.
Yeah.
This is also the kind of creature that a certain character is in Berserk. That is, I can't say the name for YouTube, but it's
Okay.
a horse that does terrible things to women.
Yeah, okay.
In Berserk, and it is a Tikbalang demon.
Yeah, there's a couple of beasts and monsters.
Yeah, Fake knows what I'm talking about.
There's a couple of beasts and monsters that are like not safe for work. I just put it that way, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
I read that manga, fair enough. So what was that? Tikbalang. Duende.
Okay.
Now these are cool. You'll like these. Duende are small, gnome-like creatures, live underground or in anthills, and they can be mischievous or helpful depending on how they are treated.
Okay.
They are known for hiding household items and playing pranks.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, so you can't find your favorite glass that you always drink milk out of. A duende.
They took it.
They took it.
Trying to make sure I get the spelling right here before. No, No, I swiped everything clean. Why? I hate this phone.
That's the leader.
And then I spelled it wrong up there.
But it gave you the right thing.
Yeah, it gave me the right thing.
I don't know why I didn't find as much about red caps on that, but it's a red cap.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. I would love it more if my phone was being stupid, but I still love it.
All right.
I don't see any, like, this one's got a sickle, but it's the only one I see that has, or it's a scythe, but it's the only one I see that has a blade.
Now there's lots of different ghosts through the Philippines.
Okay.
Depending on where they came from.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about now is called the Nuno Sapunzo.
Okay.
And these are ancestral spirits who reside in mounds of earth. I guess it's kind of what Punzo, like an elm on crack. Yeah. Punzo, that's an earth mound, right? Usually they are benevolent.
Yeah.
But if you disturb their home, that you'll have bad luck or you'll get sick. If you mess with their punzo.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Little.
He's got the scythe.
Excellent. Glad you're back.
Welcome back.
This is the Nuno Nuno Sapunzo. Nuno space SA space. Yeah, you got it. PUNSO.
Mm-hmm.
And see that one up there. Okay. Next one. All right, is the Tianak.
Tianak.
No, but sort of, because funguses can grow on the punso. You can get mushrooms and stuff. And they kind of go over that, but it's a ghost that was from something. They haunt the mound of earth there. Oh, but the Tianak is a nasty little creature, and when you find the Tianak, it's gonna look like a baby, be crying, and it'll want to be picked up, and then when you pick it up, it turns into a horrifying monster and attacks you.
Yeah, some of this art is
Creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can't have a mythology without having mermaids.
Okay.
So in the Philippines, the Sirena are the mermaid.
Okay.
Said to be enchanting, beautiful, lure fishermen with their songs and looks, and then drag them underwater.
Of course.
You know? All that. It's pretty standard as far as mermaid myth goes. That's pretty much the modus operandi.
Yeah.
Good. All right.
Makes sense.
The Sigbin. Sigbin. The Sigbin is a creature that resembles a hornless goat. It sucks the blood from its victims. Also, if you're having an illness or misfortune, one might have been around.
Why?
Why
is it a hornless goat? Why? That doesn't look right.
But also it looks very close to the chupacabra.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. I agree.
I know, the goat sucker. But that's, I do what you will with that.
I don't like it. I have been both in awe of how cool this has been so far, and also slightly put off by how creepy some of these are.
Yeah. There's a lot of jungle and dark places on the Philippine Islands, apparently.
Yeah.
The archipelago. So this one, I don't know, the Dalaketan.
You say Dalek?
It's a Dalakatan. It's a Doctor Who Pokemon.
That's pretty crazy.
From the Time War. This is a one-eyed giant.
Okay. I spelled it wrong.
Wakes up every day and chooses violence.
I think I still spelled it wrong.
Dalaketenon.
Okay, now I'm getting it. Okay.
Okay.
Just had to scroll down a little bit.
All right, yeah. hideous looking, one eye, chooses violence.
Okay.
On waking every day.
Yeah. No, thank you.
That. And yeah, as you can guess, it's definitely a good monster for a hero to face off against.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a Cyclops.
Can't go wrong with a Cyclops. Right. I don't care what name you use for it.
Right.
Works out.
Gigius or
okay. Sorry. What's that?
I've got it here, but I can't show you what I mean. So.
Okay.
Look, maybe he stole somebody else's eye. Okay.
Possibly so. So we'll try the Banganot. Bangangot.
Okay.
Bangangot. Bangarang! Robin Hood!
Bangangot.
Also known as Nightmare Death.
Oh, I spelled it wrong.
No. That's his in-ring name.
Death?
Yeah. The Bungangot. This is not a creature. This is a condition that happens. That's some mysterious condition where a person dies in their sleep without any apparent causes. They've had a bungagot. So
the worst part is I brought my laptop yesterday with the intention to leave it in the truck so I'd have it today so this wouldn't happen. Yeah. And I took it back inside last night because it was supposed to be cold.
Ooh. Bungagot. Yes. Nightmare Death. So this was... people, how you just ate that? I can't find anything. Bit him, poisoned him, stabbed him, or anything.
Okay.
Therefore, the nightmare killed them.
There are some really odd creatures that people have come up with for maybe it looks like this.
I think it goes along with the sleep paralysis, sleep demon kind of ideas, right?
Yeah, it makes sense. It's just kind of horrifying. That's all. That's all.
All right. Now you got the Balbal. BAL-BAL.
Okay.
And the best thing I could come up with is a ghoul. It's,
all right.
It steals and devours corpses. If you come across like a grave that's been desecrated or whatever, the Balbal did it.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. I mean, if I saw this thing, I would assume it was a ghoul too.
Multo, MUL.
Yeah, that was the first one that came up for me too.
Yeah. The Multo, that's just ghosts.
Okay.
Restless spirits of the deceased. Take on various forms, haunt specific places. And these are ones that are definitely, they have unfinished business.
Yeah.
And seeking ways to finish it.
You gotta have your ghosts.
Yeah, this is the unfinished business ghost, the Multo.
Okay.
The Encanto, ENGKANTO.
Not to be confused with the movie.
Right. Nature spirits. There's no alignment for them. They can be nice, they can be wicked, benevolent, they can be malevolent. They're able to inhabit the natural stuff, trees, rivers, mountains.
Yeah.
And, maybe they protect you in the woods.
There's some really good art of these.
Or maybe they kill you in the woods. There's they can be this or they can be that.
Okay. I thought they were just going to be benevolent, and I was like, man, I'd love to have this lightning old man on my side.
All right.
Well, a man could hope. If I run into a lightning old man in the woods, but I hope he's on my side.
Right. The Berberoka, Berberoka. This is a river-dwelling monster, a giant with long, stringy hair, and likes pulling swimmers underwater.
Oh.
Yeah.
Watch out, bearded man!
If you're swimming in a river in the Philippines, you must.
Also, hi, Will. I don't remember you saying hi. There it is.
There it is.
Hi, Will.
Hi, Will.
You have not missed story time. We're still talking about the list right now of creatures and beings.
Right, quite a few. So
it does kind of look like Swamp Thing, yeah.
Yeah, I saw some pictures. Yeah, there's one right there. That was a good. That's a very Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
Looking picture. See, or the Wak Wak, W-A-K, Wak Wak. Creature often depicted as a bird-like monster with wings that can separate from its body.
Ooh.
And likes to eat flesh. It is nocturnal flesh eater that can separate its wings from its body. I don't know what it is with the Philippines and things being able to separate their bodies from another part of their body. But
look, I dig it.
Yeah,
you know?
It's creepy. Yeah, unless you're being chased by it.
Yeah. They just like Buggy from One Piece. That's all.
Now, I talked about, I mentioned the nightmare death, right?
Yeah.
I want to talk about the Batibat. Because the Batibat can also get you when you're sleeping. The Batibat is a tree-dwelling demon that is a huge fat woman who sits on your chest.
Oh.
And this is one that causes sleep paralysis and suffocation. If you disturb the tree it inhabits, you release it.
Apparently somebody even made miniatures of it.
Yeah.
This one must be pretty popular.
Well, this is the sleep paralysis demon.
Yeah.
For,
So it's tethered to a tree?
Yeah. That's where it likes to dwell, is in trees.
Oh, okay.
Right? And if you can go kind of like there's some I'm sure I got the tree wrote down, but I forgot. I don't know where it is on the list. Certain tree over there can work as a portal to some cultures. Like we have the Kikiu.
Yeah.
The baboa tree for the creation of man and women and stuff like that.
Well, and then with Celtic and Gaelic, we had, of course, the mushroom circles. And
yeah. Through that. And there's a tree, for some it's a different portal, for some, other through.
I just want to clarify real quick. It is, again, Clay Cyanide Miniatures that made that miniature. They're the same ones that made the one from Polynesian mythology we talked about. Mm-hmm. It was very cool. And the snake woman from, was it Korean mythology or Chinese mythology? The snake goddess.
I think it was Korean.
Might have been Korean. They had also made a miniature from them. So, again, we're not sponsored, but if you want to check out cool nightmare demon
they got
stuff, they got them. Clay Cyanide Miniatures. Fried rice? I almost said fried steak. Nice.
But about Mantiw, Mantiw. This should sound familiar. Mythical bird, beautiful song that foretells of death or misfortune.
Okay, so it's a harbinger.
Yeah, it's got most beautiful song you've heard sung by a bird. But now that you've heard it,
yeah,
you have 7 days to live. No,
right. Not really pulling anything up for this one.
Terrible is going to happen.
Just a heads up, chat. Not really seeing anything.
Yeah, I didn't find it. Because there's nothing. It doesn't seem to be anything special about it. It's a bird.
Yeah.
It's a bird that sings a pretty song. Man, those can punch. I don't know if I got asterisks by this. I don't remember if I had this one right, but the lobo, it's either Lobo or Lobo. But Lobo.
Lobo, like the motorcycle riding hero Lobo?
He's not a hero. He's an anti-hero.
He's a hero to me.
I don't like the new Lobo.
I don't either. I like
the old Lobo. But this is the enormous, terrifying sea serpent.
Okay.
Causes shipwrecks. If fishermen or sailors they disappeared. That is this.
Okay.
This one I know I've seen somewhere else.
Nice. Can't play it. It's a gotcha. I want to play it, but I can't. I know what'll happen if I do.
Is that what they would call me in Japan? A honkai? But okay, this one I know I've heard of, and I'm hoping one of y'all come up with like, hey, this is where this was. But this is the Busal, the Busaw. Gruesome monster, huge, gaping, hungry mouth. Eats the spirits of the dead. Devourer of souls.
Devourer of souls.
Because Lobo was, yeah. Yeah. I had a couple asterisks by it. I'm not sure I have it, but I couldn't find my first source of that. I think I misspelled it.
I don't know on this one. This one's not, it's not ringing bells for me. Chat, maybe it'll ring some bells for you.
It was kind of like, when I first read it, I was kind of thinking Langoliers by Stephen King, but not really.
Right.
Except, it'd be souls instead of time. But I don't know. This one sounds familiar, and I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe there's something in Japanese mythology or something like that.
It's not really grabbing me. I'm sorry. It's cool though. I mean, there's some cool art for it, but
yeah,
and it does kind of look like a Langolier.
Yeah. Lobo. So, yeah, Lobo's usually wolf, but I think I got it. I think I messed up the spelling on that one. Okay, the bung is Ingus. Bungisngus. Another one-eyed giant. This was not so bad. This one is known for its hearty laugh. Yes, that's how we get it across the border, Dark. The playful, friendly creature, but is terrifying to look at.
So he's a sweetheart.
Yeah. He's got a bizarre appearance. He's scary to look at, but he's not mean like the other one-eyed creature.
Okay.
Okay.
I like him.
Right.
I'd be his friend.
This is good. This next one's good. Okay.
Okay.
The Dilla, D-I-L-A. That is a disembodied tongue that roams at night, terrorizing people or licking or touching them.
Heck yeah.
It is associated with feelings of unease and discomfort. Did you? What video game was that?
I'm not seeing any art of this thing, but I just love the
tongue.
idea of...
Probably so.
You're just walking through the woods and you just see a tongue floating around and it's like, no.
Yeah, disembodied tongue roams at night.
Get away, man.
You know? There's a honeypot at the end of the dark rainbow.
Horror game, not sure what it was. It was on
Xbox. Okay. All right. Tomeo. These are spirits. They're very mischievous, causing confusion and trouble. Something else, very gremlin-like, but they're gremlins, but spirits.
Okay.
Not little physical things. They're often blamed. A minor disturbance in the house, something gets knocked off the shelf.
Yeah.
Something goes missing, something like that. It was a tomeo. Not a tomato, a tomeo.
Took me a while to find a picture of this one, but there was one deep down. You might not have it in your notes. It's fine if you don't. You had a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure the Bakunawa is Tagalog.
Maybe so.
It's the dragon, the Bakunawa.
Okay.
I did an essay in high school on dragons, and it was one of them that I included in the list, and I liked it a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's the only one that I knew going in is...
Okay.
Yeah.
The dragon?
There he is.
Right on. Yeah, sure.
He's a cool guy.
Filipino.
I mean, he's a horrifying monster, but he's a cool guy.
Understandable, Dark. Okay.
That's fair.
So, I talked about a lot of different
Set my phone aside now.
stories, mythologies through the region of the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of things that influence different mythologies through over the years. So the creation account, I'm gonna tomorrow, which are tomatoes.
I found one picture, but I had to dig for a little while to get it.
Yeah. Well, as far as I understand, they are incorporeal.
Right, they're just things.
Yeah, they're invisible in a way. All right. So this is more of this is the Tagalog creation story.
Okay.
Okay. So in the beginning, There was only darkness and water, and the universe was devoid of life. Bathala, the supreme god, looked upon this emptiness and decided to bring order and life to the world.
Okay.
To create the earth, Bathala first called upon the deity Amansinyana, the goddess of the sea, and tasked her with lowering the skies and oceans, separating them from each other. The goddess obeyed Bathala's command, and as she moved the waters away, the land emerged. After creating the land, Bathala crafted the mountains, valleys, and plains. He then populated the world with various plants and animals. To oversee the newly created earth, Bathala appointed the goddess Tala as the guardian of the morning and evening stars, as well as the ruler of the planet. You would.
I bet it was great.
As well as the ruler of planet Venus. Bathala then decided to create the first man and woman. He molded a figure out of earth and breathed life into it, giving birth to the first humans. Malakas, which means strength,
Okay.
and Maganda, which means beauty. And they are the ancestors of the human race.
Okay.
Bathala continued to watch over the earth, ensuring that it thrived with life. He also created other gods and goddesses to oversee various aspects of the world, such as Mayari, the goddess of the moon, and Apolaki, the god of the sun.
Also, just real quick, why are you embarrassed for Will doing that in middle school, but I got a free pass for dragons in high school?
No, you didn't get a free pass for dragons.
My essay was about how cool they were. I haven't changed.
But I've got some of the other creations stories, like there's one from the where was it? I wanted to point this one out. Like the Balan creation story. The god of the Balan people, they made Melu. He tried to create people who was having trouble. He first used wax, and he used dirt. He finally got to where he could make they could make a person. I had real trouble making their noses.
Okay.
And he was in a hurry, so he pressed his finger at the root of their noses, and that's how Balan's people's noses were formed.
Okay.
There's a lot of little myths and stuff like that go through. There's another one where their god made people out of like his fluffed off skin and hair.
Okay.
Like dead skin and hair.
Yeah.
That's what he made the first men out of, and he required them to keep their dead skin and hair so he could make the first woman.
I got you.
Onto that. Lots of stories in the Philippines about how creation and how things were made.
I like the way that I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, go ahead.
I like the way that the Tagalog specifically is like, look, and he gave this job to these people, and he gave this job to these people.
Yeah.
And, he was in control of it all, but after he made it, he said, no, you're in charge of it.
Well, we talked about Greece. Mm-hmm. Last time we did mythology, and the it kind of has a pattern, and people, we kind of knew a lot of those stories, maybe not the exact details on them, and the ideas of the gods and the stuff. And there's something about a lot of the stuff in Philippines that kind of mirrors that in a way.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the stuff you'll find with Bathala, you find some other place. He's got a big white beard.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of the pictures and stuff.
I like parts of Naruto. I don't like all of Naruto.
As long as it's not burrito.
Yeah, I definitely don't like Boruto.
Okay. I like burritos.
I like 90% of Naruto, and that last 10% I can't stand.
Okay. So from the first creation myth I said, and I'm going to how God made the Tagalog, the origin of people.
Yeah.
We had a thing where he made it first. So long time ago, in the time of darkness of water, there lived two deities who resided in the heavens: the supreme god Bathala and his sister, the goddess of the moon, Mayari, watched over the world below. They saw that the earth was devoid of life and longed to populate it with creatures to enjoy its beauty. One day, Bathala decided to create the first man and woman. He gathered soil from the earth and shaped it into the form of a man, which he named Malakas. Malakas was strong, vibrant, and full of life. Next, Bathala created a woman named Maganda, which means beautiful. She was lovely as the moon and possessed a gentle and kind spirit. Bathala breathed life into Makalas and Maganda, and the first humans came to life. They were set down on the earth, and they marveled at the beauty around them. Bathala and Mayari taught them how to care for the land, the plants, and the creatures that would share the world. I believe, if we go back to our Hebrew, that's the first man and woman given dominion over the natural world, land, the animals, stuff like that. It's kind of almost like the first commandment. There as well.
I was going to point out that yet again, as in most of them, we get the world started in darkness and water.
Yeah.
Always that way.
Yeah, seems to be for sure. Malakas and Maganda became the ancestors of the human race. They cherished the earth, and it was a responsibility to take care of it. As the first man and woman flourished and multiplied, the earth teemed with life. They gave thanks to Bathala and Mayari for the gift of life, and from that time on, the people remembered their origins and their importance of caring for the world that was entrusted to them. What's that?
That's cool.
Right?
I really like it when, and this may be a gimme, of course I like this. I really like it when the creator god has like a relationship with the first man and woman.
Yeah.
You know, instead of just, hey, I made you, now you're good.
Yeah.
I like it when it's
There's
like, yeah, no, I'm going to teach you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you stuff.
Yeah. And this is the and some of them, when we go through them, it's like, hey, okay, this is what you got to do to take care of the world.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of the stories seem to deal across mythology with a lot of the same stuff as far as humans go, right?
Yeah.
There's always these stories of pride or envy, the kind of, you know, these fable-esque, parable-esque stories meant to teach a lesson, as well as just some of the, now this is how the universe came to be. Do that.
Dark, remind me tomorrow and we'll talk about Naruto. You too will. I'm trying to stay focused right now, but I have thoughts.
Oh my gosh. All right. So in the Greek mythology, we have Prometheus.
Right.
Bringing fire. Fire gets taken back. He steals it and gives it back to humans. You know, Zeus gets mad.
Yeah.
He ends up on a mountain getting his liver eaten by a vulture. That fixes itself every night.
Bad fate.
Yeah. It doesn't sound pleasant at all. The Hercules took Atlas's place for a while. He did not have anything to do with taking Prometheus's place to help him out. But this is the Tagalog version of the story of the first fire.
Okay.
All right. So in the ancient days, the people of the Philippines lived in a world without fire. They shivered in the dark, unable to cook their food or stay warm. They longed for the warmth and light of fire, but it was guarded by a fierce and greedy creature, the Agtong, a giant bat.
Okay.
The Agtong had the power to create and control fire, and it guarded this precious element zealously. It had sharp claws and keen eyes and watched over the flames day and night, ensuring that no one else could possess the power of fire. One day, a clever and resourceful boy named Apoy, which in Tagalog means fire, A-P-O-Y, Apoy, decided to find a way to steal fire from the Agtong. He knew he had to be cunning and patient. Apoy observed the Agtong closely and noticed that it always flew eastward at dawn to greet the rising sun. This was the only time when it left the fire unattended. So Apoy made a plan. He collected bamboo and coconut shells and built a bamboo raft.
Okay.
On this raft, he placed dry leaves, sticks, and a hollow bamboo tube. He waited until the Agtong had gone on his deadly flight. Then he paddled to the cave where the fire was kept. He carefully used the hollow bamboo tube to blow air onto the dry leaves and sticks, coaxing them into flames. The fire crackled to life, and Apoy felt the warmth on his skin for the first time, and he was overjoyed. But as he was about to leave with the stolen fire, the Atong returned from its flight and saw what Apoy had done. Enraged, the giant bat chased after Apoy, who paddled with all his might to escape. The Agtong swiped its sharp claws at Apoy, but missed him narrowly. Apoy managed to reach the safety of his village, bringing the fire with him. The villagers were astonished and grateful for his courage and resourcefulness. They used the stolen fire to cook their food and to stay warm, and it transformed their lives. The Agtong, defeated and unable to claim the fire, retreated to its cave in frustration. It continued to guard the flames, but it could no longer prevent the people from using fire. And so, Apoy, the clever boy, became a hero and savior of his people, and they learned to use fire wisely and respectfully, knowing that it had been stolen from the greedy Agtong.
I have so many questions.
Okay.
Why was it a bat?
I'm not sure that there's one. I don't know what the bat has to do with fire, but there's fruit bats there and flying foxes, and those are huge.
Yeah, that's fair.
Going through, and a good way to keep them just away from stuff is fire.
Yeah.
So
my
I don't
second
know.
question is, why did the bat leave to go greet the sun?
Hey, you got me. You got me.
It was, we had the Gundam seed. Yeah, I understand. I understand. Look, maybe this is just a special bat.
Okay. I got another hero story for you.
Okay.
This is the Adventures of Lam Ang.
Okay.
Not Ong, I don't think.
Right, yeah.
Lam Ang.
Oh,
Lam Ang.
thanks for reminding me.
So apparently Ang was Filipino.
Yeah.
So in the lush mountains and fertile valleys in the lush mountains and fertile valleys of northern Philippines, there lived, so not Tagalog, this is going to be northern. Lived a young and extraordinary hero named Lam Ang.
No, you're good, Will.
Oh, good. From his very birth, Lam Ang displayed remarkable abilities. He spoke and walked immediately after birth. And by age of 1, already a full-grown man.
Okay. I feel like I've heard this story before somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, his father, Don Juan, had gone on a long journey, and his mother, Namangan, was left to care for him. So to make him strong, she decided to teach him skills, like the art of fishing, farming, and hunting.
Okay.
Lam Ang excelled at everything he did, and his reputation as a remarkable and fearless warrior spread throughout the land. One day, a beautiful maiden named Inez Canayan caught his eye, and he fell deeply in love with her, and then they soon became engaged. But tragedy struck when Lam Ang's enemies, led by the treacherous Samarang, stole his prized rooster and fled. Now, you can't have anybody steal your prized rooster and just let it go.
Yeah.
Not if you want to be considered a man.
Right.
All right?
And I don't even know how old he is at this point.
Well, that
he
one
was
is
full grown at 1.
Yeah,
so.
full grown at 1, but not long after that, apparently he got married and somebody stole his prized rooster.
Yeah.
You ain't having this.
Right.
This is the kind of fight that starts off the Hatfields and McCoys. You never know where it's going to end up. But he couldn't have this. He determined to retrieve his rooster to uphold his honor.
Okay.
Lam Ang set off on a perilous journey.
That's fair. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So was Lam Ang when he went to go get his rooster. And along the way, of course, he had numerous challenges, much like a hero's journey does. He fought dangerous creatures and monsters, wrestled a giant shark, defeated the monstrous wild boar, and fought off a group of tribesmen for another tribe. They call out the Igorot tribe for the story. But despite all these trials of fighting monsters, deadly riddles, whatever, went through, his love. Now, look, his
fair. That's true.
Yeah, his love for Inez and determination never wavered. He loved her so much he was going to get his rooster back so they wouldn't be dishonored.
Yep.
He eventually countered Sumarang, the villain of our story, and his cohorts. And he fought them. And he emerged victorious. So he basically killed their whole camp and took back the rooster.
Nice.
Right? He returned to his village triumphant, bringing back not only the rooster, but valuable treasure.
I am a Gundam.
Yes, you are.
That's where he ended up, marrying Inez. They were fiancés before that. And they lived in happiness and prosperity. And it's just that's a kind of a Hercules type story.
Yeah.
It was a possible quest to go get his rooster back.
My favorite type of story, when a child man has to go get his rooster back so he can marry his woman he loves.
Now, I talked about, this one's from...
And he's the son of Don Juan.
Right. I don't know if you've seen the Spanish influences of these stories, but a little bit later on.
Just waiting for you to bring up the Catalans.
About the legend of Bernardo Carpio.
Okay.
So, high in the mountains of Montalban in the Philippines, a legendary figure named Bernardo Carpio is said to be imprisoned. He's holding back two massive mountains, preventing them from colliding. So, long ago, during the Spanish colonial period, the people of the Philippines were subjugated and oppressed.
Okay.
Bernardo Carpio, a young and valiant man, rose to lead a rebellion against the Spanish authorities. His courage and his leadership, he made him a symbol of hope for his people.
Okay.
Right? Symbol of hope. A big S on his chest.
Yeah.
But during a battle with the Spanish forces, Carpio was captured and imprisoned in vast underground caverns between two enormous mountain ranges. These mountains, known as Mount Pamitinan and Binakayan, they were fated to collide. That would cause, and when they collided, there was going to be earthquakes, destruction in the land.
Oh no!
Kind of wars and rumors of wars type situation.
Bro.
Wailing, gnashing of teeth, all that good stuff. All the. It was going to be terrible if these mountains hit each other, but. The legend goes, Bernardo Carpio remains imprisoned within the mountains. He's got massive chains wrapped around his body, and he's tasked with preventing the collision of the mountains by pushing them apart.
Okay.
And it's his strength and endurance that's keeping these mountains together. Yeah. It is believed that as long as Bernardo Carpio is able to hold the mountains apart, the land will be protected from calamity. There are also versions of it where Bernardo Carpio takes on like a kind of messianic type, where one time at some point in the future he'll be freed from his rocky prison.
Yeah.
And lead his people to freedom.
So he's King Arthur, Ragnar Lothbrok.
Yes.
Cuchulainn.
Yeah.
Those all at once.
Yeah. Bernardo Carpio is another one in that list.
He's
Bernardo
also Samson.
Yeah.
Holding the two.
Right.
And he's also Palom
Yeah.
from Final Fantasy IV. Holding the two walls back, get turned into stone. Spoilers, I guess.
Yeah. You ruin it.
Spoilers for a game that came out in 1992. Was it 94? Might have been 94. That's not the point.
All right. Are you ready for some more stories?
Yeah, hit me with them. I'm enjoying these.
Okay, I want to tell you a story about a beautiful woman.
Okay, I love those.
Okay. So nestled in the heart of Mount Makiling, near the town of Los Baños in the Philippines. Is that the bathrooms? Los Baños?
It might be.
Philippines lies the legendary story of a woman named Maria Makiling.
Okay.
She is celebrated for her beauty and her enchanting presence. Maria Makiling was known throughout the land as a woman with long flowing hair and a captivating smile. She was often seen walking through the forests and fields, appearing and disappearing like a wisp in the wind.
Okay.
Her grace and beauty captured the hearts of many men who attempted to win her affection. One of these men was a young and brave hunter named Juan. He often encountered Maria Macaling while exploring the lush surroundings of Mount Macaling. He was deeply captivated by her charm and fell in love with her at first sight. Juan pursued Maria relentlessly, courting her with unwavering devotion and affection. They spent many happy days together, exploring the mountain and enjoying each other's company. However, Maria Macaling had a secret. She was not an ordinary woman. She was the Dewata, a fairy-like being with supernatural powers, and she was bound to protect the mystical wonders of Mount Macaling. Her existence was intricately tied to the enchantments of the mountain. As time passed, Juan proposed to Maria, asking for her hand in marriage. The Dewata, knowing the consequences of such a union, agreed to the marriage, but with one condition. Juan was promised never to look at her when she bathed in the river.
Of course.
Juan agreed to this one request, and they were married. They lived a life filled with love and happiness. However, as time went by, Juan's curiosity got the better of him. He eventually broke his promise, and while his wife bathed, he secretly peeked at her. To his astonishment, he saw Maria Macaling's true form as a Dewata, her radiant beauty and enchanting aura, and her wings shimmering in the sunlight. Realizing that her secret had been discovered, Maria disappeared into the mountain, never to be seen again.
Yeah.
Juan was heartbroken, searching for his lost love, but she remained hidden within the depths of Mount Macaling, her secrets and mysteries forever protected by the mountain's enchantments.
Yeah, we always got to have it, right? It's
Yeah.
The Orpheus and Eurydice, the Izanagi and Izanami.
It also makes me think of the Pandora's Box story.
Yeah.
There's a couple of them.
It's the what's his name? The man that goes down to the dragon palace under the sea. When he comes back, he has the box, and as long as he doesn't open the box,
Yeah.
the Tamate Bako, he can go back. But he opens it anyway.
Okay. So long ago, in a time when the world was still young, the Tagalog people believed in a myth about the creation of the first man and woman, as well as the origin of night and day. So this little myth is another telling of Makala, strong, and Maganda, beautiful, right?
Yeah, okay.
So the great god Bathala decided to create the world and all its creatures. He used clay to mold the human figures, so one male, one females. As one male, one female, as the figures became Makalas Maganda, talking about the first man and the woman.
Right.
He breathed life into them. They came to life. They were placed in a beautiful garden called Kalu Walhathayan.
Okay.
Kalu Walhathayan. Where they were free to explore and enjoy the abundance of nature. Bathala provided, you talk about having interaction with them, provided Malakas and Maganda with guidance. We talked earlier about how he taught them to care for the world.
Yeah.
How to take care of plants. But he also gave them a golden bamboo cane called a kalasag.
Okay.
And it had extraordinary powers. So one day, while exploring the garden, Malakas and Maganda came across the golden bamboo cane. Curiosity led them to break the cane, which unleashed a series of events. Maganda was pregnant at the time, and as a result of breaking the cane, she gave birth prematurely to many children.
Oh, boy.
These children became the ancestors of the Tagalog people, and from them the Filipino race was born. The children were named Mga Apo, or Apo Lucky, meaning grandchildren or great strength,
Okay.
and Apo Bait, means great beauty.
Okay.
As for the broken bamboo cane, its fragments turned into the moon and stars. Bathala took one of the brighter fragments and hurled it into the sky where it became the sun. This event marked the beginning of night and day. Malakas and Maganda continued to care for their children, ensuring they would thrive and live in harmony with the world created by Bathala. That's the story of how, another version of how night and day came about.
Right.
Bathala, they broke a cane.
Why would you break it?
And now it's supposed to be mystical and powerful.
Found a golden cane, and your first reaction is, I'm going to break it. See what happens.
Yes.
Suddenly, boom, here's kids.
Yeah. I did find another thing where I had like little short stories about it.
Okay.
We're doing
something Laurent would do. That is true. That is true. Oh, what's this?
There's also a setup for remember in Greek we had like you had the Olympian gods and you had the gods underneath them. There were like tiers.
Yeah,
of
like
gods.
The chaos gods and
there was the primordial, the Olympic,
that was the primordial,
and the minor gods. There is kind of a setup like that in the Tagalog and a lot of the Philippine mythologies and like how the pantheon is set up.
Okay.
So we have Bathala as the creator deity. I talked about that. And other areas might be called Maykapal, Lumilika, and
every mystical object you come across. Hey, in first edition, that's how you got XP.
Right. Yeah, it was.
And they were just trying to level up.
And another name for Bathala is Abba.
Oh.
ABBA. An enormous being, controlled thunder, lightning, flood, fire, earthquakes, and he was the first. Presides over the lesser deity, uses spirits to intercede between divinities and mortals. When Muslim kind of started influencing, the name became Tigmamanukan.
Okay.
The name change gone over. Like I said, between each one, there's different. But he's main god.
We should probably clarify why Abba was like a big thing. It's also one of the names of God.
Yeah.
From Hebrew.
But
the Hebrew
Greek.
God. Right. But right.
Well, it would be a New Testament term for the.
Yeah. I was trying to clarify which God, since we're talking about.
Yeah. We've talked about a few.
Yeah.
I'll cover it off.
Interesting.
There was another one I want to talk about that had, and I think I might actually close the wrong tab.
You had a lot of stuff open. It's a lot of information.
Another guy went through the kind of some of the main gods earlier. And then there was like a second level as they handed it down because like the Bathala and the sea goddess had the god. They gave birth to the gods that were over the sun and the moon.
Right.
And then there was another generation down where their children had the children that were gods over other things. Like it's smaller and smaller what they control.
Makes sense.
Or maybe less important.
Makes sense.
But yeah, I don't know how to. I didn't try to keep this kind of the Tagalog.
Yeah, I agree.
A little bit in the Philippines with some of the some of the influence I was talking about that came in earlier, the Hindu, the Shinto, Muslim, Christianity, Spanish, through that, Indonesian. Yeah. And in fact, I think if you look at some Indonesian mythology, it parallels a lot of the not the same, right, but it does parallel.
That makes sense.
Thing. There was the Great Flood in Tagalog mythology, but the Great Flood in Tagalog mythology was caused by. It was the same thing that didn't like people, as most other floods. Kind of a reset. It was a giant crab that did that, and the people who survived were the people who got on rafts.
Giant enemy crab. I like it.
Yeah, giant crab was the one that caused the flood in that.
Giant crabs are cool.
Yeah. And you'll find some of the stories where a lot of the gods, a lot of the stories that go along, the gods have a like humanistic qualities. They get a lot of the lesser guys, they get jealous.
Yeah.
They get angry. They get, they go through all different emotions. Once at that.
How would you run this?
I don't know. I think about the setup kind of like, because when we're talking about Polynesian, we're talking about different places, like a big area for Polynesian myth, right? But the islands separated out. Now, in the Philippines, you've got islands, but they're a lot closer together.
Right.
What they would go there. I think for this one, I actually go a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
Take the islands as an actual geographic thing. Maybe draw them different or lay them out different, but take a different tribal aspect to each island.
Yeah.
And as you went to the next island, things were,
things were a little bit different.
Yeah, it was a different god or, different pantheon that was running things on that island. Cool. Through that. The creatures, if you dig in deep to the creatures of the like Filipino myth, you've got some really great evil creatures.
Yeah.
That are easy to not like. Look, it eats babies.
Yep, that one's pretty clear.
It can't be a good guy. It eats babies.
When you got sirens, you got giants.
Yeah, you have a lot of the
Cyclops.
things. Yeah, the dragon you were talking about earlier. A lot of the certain things that come up that you can easily go, like the ghosts. Mm-hmm. Now you might have a different name for the ghost depending on what it's doing.
Right.
There's another name for a ghost that these ghosts are ones that are people who died in war.
Right.
That comes up with a certain type of ghost, and you have the other ghost, like has unfinished business. This ghost is just kind of a trickster.
Yeah.
It's a different name for that ghost. A different thing. It's still kind of just a ghost. I think there's a lot you can do with it. Mm-hmm. I think I would lean into. I think what I would like to do this, if I was running this, is do something with Thala and his wife. I'll get back up here and make it. Aman Sinaya.
Yeah.
I his wife. They wandering over the land. Something has maybe caused let's say the Lakapati, the hermaphrodite god, the god of fertility and agriculture and stuff like that. Something happened to, like, they're not over that. Something's blocking their power.
Right.
Going through, so you're dealing with, the crops aren't growing. There's no new babies.
Right.
Type thing. You got to have a big kind of, scenario where you feel like if you want your people to survive, you're going to have to figure out what is that. And looking on, there's some other stuff. When you get some like to the Muslim and Christianity effects, you've got a god known as Sitan, Sitan.
Yeah, I saw him earlier.
That is basically, he's Hades. He's Satan.
Yeah.
Shaitan, however you want to say it, going through there. But there's lots. This one, like many of the others, you've got so many gods that cover what you need them to.
Yeah. Like
having a paladin type class or a cleric like that should be rather easy.
Yeah.
See how they like through that. I don't know. I think to make this more interesting, I would cut down on a lot of the metal.
Yeah.
Plate armor.
Yeah.
Heavy swords, battle axes, and stuff like that. And make it more island-esque, I guess.
Like early in history style.
Yeah. But
when the gods still roam the earth, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And go through that.
You mentioned having the characters, like the different islands with different cultures. It'd be really cool if you had, like, hey, each member of the party is going to come from a different island.
Right.
So they have a very different.
So kind of like this one is based on the Tagalog culture. This one may be the Visayan
right
culture. This one, yeah. So you have Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta do something.
Hey, the wizard learned from the boy that stole fire how to make fire.
Yeah.
And he's an evocation wizard.
Yeah.
That's what he does, you know.
He's a son or a student of a poi.
Yeah.
To keep the fire going.
And then you flavor all the spells, and like Cone of Cold is now Cone of Heat.
Yeah.
You know, or Lightning Bolt is now a better version of Firebolt.
I don't know. You got Firebolt. You know.
Yeah, you can get deep into that, and I think if I agree with you. If I was going to run it, I'd be doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'd be tying it all in together. But like you said, I think every island being different would be really cool.
Yeah.
Because it allows you to pull from all those different mythologies.
Hey, you have so much you could run in there, and also, like I said, over time, so if you pick a historical period to the Philippines, like maybe you go back to the 4th century, and your outside force that's threatening your way of life, you know, you base it on like Hindu mythology, or you know, if you go later on to maybe the Muslim or Spanish, you have you know, a backup idea for an opposing force,
Right.
You know, or a trading force if you want to. They work trade and you get in different things from different parts of the world.
There's a really fun thing in the game Fear and Hunger. I mentioned that I'd played a little bit of it.
Yeah.
And it's very dark, but there's a really fun thing in there where they have the old gods that live below that dungeon, you know.
Yeah.
And they influence that dungeon. They used to influence the whole world. But now the new gods have come in, and there's conflict between that. And that might be a really fun way to leverage it, too. Of, hey, look, on these islands, it's always just been these gods.
Right.
And now here come these new gods, and people are following them. And maybe they don't want the same things.
Yeah. There's definitely a lot you can do with it. I think mythology and stories give you so much to work with. I mean, when you start looking at it and you hear so many stories and see so many, you start seeing like patterns, things that you know, that are common to apparently humans across the world in some weird way, right? Yeah. The importance of agriculture, you know, some basic stuff. Basic stuff, you know, importance of agriculture, things like that. The you know, safety in childbirth, you know.
Well, you mentioned pride earlier.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter where you're from. We all understand pride.
Yeah. And there seems to be a flying too close to the sun-esque type of story everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, this or that. And we've had lots of kind of like little love stories too.
Yeah.
That can come through. Sometimes they end in tragedy.
Yeah. Don't look, man.
Mostly they end in tragedy because one of them we went to, they both end up turning to a mountain.
Yeah, they can't all be my story, okay?
Yeah. That is sappy. Dark. So sappy. On to that. Red ogre, blue ogre. And we start thinking about what we want to look at next.
Yes, so I have the list.
Okay.
We'll leave it up to you as always, chat. And if you can't decide, then we'll just pick ourselves.
Right.
But the ones that I brought for you tonight are Portugal, Laos, Namibia, or we could give Ringen a break and we could cover SCP. That's right. Next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all still human. That's right.
Yeah. You can't get, like, I honestly believe you're, each and every one of you, one of the most unique things in the universe. At the same time, I have to understand that you're still a human.
Yeah.
You know, and as all through history, wherever you look at history, you pick a point, put it on the map. There's people there. You're going to find horrors.
Yep.
You're going to find brutality, violence, things that make you sick to your stomach. But also, there's going to be things there that are just like beautiful, and those are just a part of you know, humanity. The ugly and the beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, they're both at the same time.
I believe it was, and I could be wrong, but I believe it was Niccolo Machiavelli who said that it is within the capacity of man to do both good and ill at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's
Good
absolutely
quote.
right.
Good quote. Going through that.
Looks like SCP is what people are requesting. I'm talking about song modes that might suddenly get disabled next Thursday.
Yeah.
Crazy how that happens. But yeah, we could give you a break, do SCP. We talked about doing like one of those a month. So
Yeah, okay. We'll do our October SCP episode then. Mm-hmm. All right.
oh yeah, it's the right time for it. Yeah.
Okay.
Right before Halloween.
All right.
Yeah.
You're getting called out.
Cheating.
Going through that. Yeah, come back and do a couple weeks of couple of 3 weeks of maybe one of those nations that we mentioned.
Yeah. I think Portugal would be really cool.
Yeah. The SCP's got the win though. So we're going to. I'm happy to do that.
And remember, because we did like a general a general shallow dive into SCP the last time we covered it. This time we're going to actually start with like 0. We're going to go all of the SCP-1. What's the word I'm looking for? All of the nominees for SCP-001.
Oh, gotcha.
And we'll cover those, and we'll start working our way up from there every time we cover it. So
Right on. Right on.
look, I get to be Trey right now. Tuesday's show, I was not regular Trey. Today I'm Trey. I get to be Trey.
That's what you think, buddy.
But until next time, unless there's anything else you had, sir.
I'm trying to think over it because I don't. There's none of these. Honestly, at the end of the day, there's none of these mythologies. I feel like I've given like the deserved time to. Right. Because as we were saying earlier, these are human beings and stories that were lived out, told, passed down. Mm-hmm. A lot of the stuff that we talk about was just oral stories told for generations, and somebody came along, or they finally developed writing, mm-hmm. And we get kind of a written down version, of what it is. Now, just it's if nothing else out of this series that we're doing, I'm hoping that somebody's like, that maybe at the very least it's like, hey, these are worth digging into.
Yeah.
There is cool stuff to be said and seen and read.
I stand by the fact that the weirdest and coolest thing that we've covered this whole time is when the man took a spear and threw it at his friend that flew away, and it gave him a beak,
bill.
And he became a bird.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a bill, not a beak. Yeah.
Well, either way, same thing.
He became a bird.
Yes. Like
it can't happen anywhere else.
It happens. There's also kind of a common thing. Some of the common things we usually hit them on. There's usually some kind of flood.
Yeah.
Usually giants. There's usually dragons, vampires, some kind of shapeshifter.
Yeah. No lizard men this time.
No lizard men, or may not have come across them. Beyond that, ghosts are pretty common.
Yeah.
Through that, but the creation, so many times the creation of humans coming from either dirt itself, or like being taken out of something that's in nature.
Yeah.
Not made anywhere else, not like sent from star,
right,
or another planet or another dimension or anything like that, but actually made from the physical components of this.
Right.
This world.
Planet Earth.
This dimension that we're in, this planet that we're on.
I think it's cool.
So SCP next, I'm kind of glad about that. I don't have to do that. That'll be it.
Be a nice little break for you.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow we'll be doing Adventure Quest, which is going to be weird and interesting, and we'll see how far we can get in 2 hours, because, man, that's a strange thing, but I'm excited for it.
Okay.
Monday, we'll be continuing Lotro.
Yes.
We are free of Isengard.
Yes, we got out. Broke out of prison.
But things are still not great among our friends. So, we'll...
And I know he knows something is coming. Something coming, because he's already seen a character has a name that does not have a good ending.
No. And I like the character that character's attached to, so it's... But, it'll be all right. And then Tuesday we'll have the podcast. We had some technical difficulties yesterday, but that means next Wednesday you'll play Relicta.
Yeah.
And then next Thursday we'll talk SCP-001 candidates. So until next time.
Appreciate it. Love y'all too.
Love you too, Will.
Thank
and
you.
All of y'all.
Thank you.
I have been Trey.
I've been Rungren.
And this has been the Full Spectrum TTRPG podcast. Remember to always enjoy full spectrum. That Filipino mythology. I forgot where we were for a second. I was thinking about the guy that got turned into a bird. Has to offer.